Apollo 17 Panorama, Station 5. The Panorama was collected by Jack Schmitt. During preparations for the moonwalks, the surface checklist was followed closely except that the commander's oxygen hoses were disconnected from the suit during all the preparation activities. The hoses were strapped against the environmental control system bulkhead and were allowed to flow oxygen into the cabin. To provide additional clearance in the portable life support system donning station and in the forward cabin area, the suit hoses were not connected. The liquid cooling garment pump circuit breaker was cycled for cooling purposes and cooling was more than adequate. The lunar module pilot allowed his hoses to remain connected to the suit because it was the most convenient method to handle these short hoses. The size of the lunar module made it difficult for two crewmen to freely move around. As a result, all activities in the cabin are accomplished slowly to ensure that none of the equipment is damaged. Much of the time required for preparation and post-extravehicular activity operations is a result of the constraining cabin space. A systematic stowage, unstowage, and interim stowage of gear is required during the preparation exercise. Apollo 17 Panorama, Station 6. The Panorama was collected by Jack Schmitt at Station 6. Gene Cernan, to the right of the rover, is putting the Traverse Gravimeter Experiment, TGE, down on the surface. The liquid cooling garments were doffed at the end of each extravehicular activity and the constant wear garment was donned for sleep. The crew believed that their sleep was much more comfortable in the constant wear garment, partly because it was cleaner than the liquid cooling garment. Also, the constant wear garment removed the pressure that a tight-fitting liquid cooling garment exerts on the body. Prior to ascent from the lunar surface, the cabin activities included covering all holes in the lunar module floor into which dust had collected or could be swept. Although considerable dust appeared in the cabin upon insertion, taping the holes definitely prevented a major dust problem in 0G. Apollo 17 Panorama, Station 7. The Panorama was collected by Gene Cernan at Station 7. Jack Schmitt is at the rover. The tools provided for lunar surface operations, particularly those required in the sampling of lunar materials, all performed as expected. The geological hammer was particularly useful to the commander and usable when required by the lunar module pilot. It was recommended that tools which required extensive gripping be custom-fit to the astronaut's hands. The hammer was too large for the lunar module pilot, but it was the right size for the commander. The lunar surface scoop was the primary sampling tool used by the lunar module pilot, and it worked well. However, by the beginning of the third extravehicular activity, dust in the scoop locking mechanism prevented extensive use in any of the multiple detents. Only the 45-degree position was used during most of the third traverse.